I am aware of the dangers of being misread. I am not talking about racial superiority or inferiority, but about differences in group averages and overlapping distributions. Differences in averages do not affect the abilities of any individual. They should not affect our approach positively or negatively to any person we meet. But experience has taught me how hard it is for people to accept those assurances. I am also aware of a paradox. I want America to return to the ideal of treating people as individuals, so I have to write a book that treats Americans as groups. But there's no way around it. Those of us who want to defend the American creed have been unwilling to say openly that races have significant group differences. Since we have been unwilling to say that, we have been defenseless against claims that racism is to blame for unequal outcomes. What else could it be? We have been afraid to answer candidly. Because we have not talked openly about group differences, we have kidded ourselves that the differences are temporary and can be made to go away. The next big push, whether it takes the form of No Child Left Behind in 2001 or a campaign to root out systemic racism in 2021, will change things. We've been saying that since the War on Poverty in 1965. It has allowed us to evade our moral obligation to treat others as individuals, even though mean differences between groups are a reality and will be with us indefinitely. I've been having conversations about that moral obligation for decades. It has been disquieting to see how few people can make themselves confront it. The differences must be temporary. If they aren't, but they must be. Discarding that crutch is essential. The more intractable the group differences, the more imperative the moral obligation. This book is written for all the people with whom I've had those disquieting conversations, and the millions of others who think that group differences must be temporary. I've been unable to discern an ideological tilt. Well-meaning people on the right are as uncomfortable confronting the reality of group differences as well-meaning people on the left. But one audience is a special priority for me. People on the center-left who are liberals in the tradition that extended from FDR through Bill Clinton and included Senator Joe Biden. I suspect that any liberals who have gotten this far are wondering if I can possibly be serious. Can't Murray see that America's problems are coming from the radical right, the people who stormed the Capitol 2 weeks before Biden's inauguration? That's partly true. What's happening on the right is half the national crisis that threatens America's soul, but the other half is what's happening with identity politics on the left. If you are on the center-left, the material in this book is unlikely to be treated accurately in the newspapers you read, the blogs you follow, your social media feeds, or the news that you watch or listen to. Be assured that nothing in this book will challenge your political principles with which I disagree. There's nothing here promoting my libertarian views on freedom or small government. I continue to hold those views, but in this book I argue from a center-right position, aiming to make common cause with people of other political persuasions in restoring an element of the American creed on which we agree. For whatever has happened with the progressive left, the importance of equality before the law and of treating people as individuals has historically been at the core of American liberal principles, just as it has been at the core of American conservative principles, no matter what has happened with the Trumpian right. As for the realities I describe, there's no way to sugarcoat them, and I decided not to try. But having described the realities we must face, I can try to convey the peril we are in if we ignore them. That is the subject of the concluding chapter.